This love, light, and blessings. This is Shamanic Hour Business here. Like pause for a second because I didn't even know that I was recording. So I wanted to make this video because I felt like it was an important topic that I wanted to talk about. If you're wondering why I have the same clothes as some of my other videos, it's because I'm pre-recording videos as I get the chance. So, and then kind of downloading them, you know, whenever, just at least once a week, maybe more, just to kind of keep the channel with videos, despite my busy season. So I didn't just like have the channel go into hiatus type of situation. Today's topic that I wanted to talk about was actually why um, why should you, well, not about should, but why I keep certain things in my path secret. So for those of you that don't know me, um, first and foremost, welcome to my channel. I practice indigenous traditions that are pretty much closed traditions, which means that we don't really share certain information with people outside of our sociedad, okay, or spiritual house, because they're either people that are being taught or some type of initiates and elders. And so basically, like, for instance, I grew up in Santeria, so there were things my mom couldn't even share with me because she was sworn to secrecy until I, in my younger years, went into that path, and things like that. I'm no longer part of a Santeria house. Maybe one day I'll make a video about why, but I do still serve the Orishas and have training in that. Um, and now, in my path, in the last couple of years, around the time that I made this channel I made it 2 years ago. Um, I've had the Loas come in strongly, and so I'm being mentored in voodoo and things like that. So I'm a voodoo sant, and there are things that I'm being sworn to, that I cannot share on this channel or with someone that's outside of their tradition. And the reason being is that we're taught that in the secrecy lies the power. For instance, in my culture, and I also practice, indigenous, like native spirituality as well, because I'm a shaman, and in that path as well, I'm sworn to secrecy, and I practice hoodoo, and there, it's not initiatory, but you still are supposed to keep your stuff secret. And because one thing that all these paths have in common, is that they believe that all of them are oral traditions, of course, but they believe that the power of their traditions, why they're so powerful, why the Loas and the Orishas and the ancestors walk so strongly among us even till today. Because if you go to a voodoo ritual, a Santeria ritual, if you go to a native ritual, you're going to feel this unexplainable energy, that to people that grew up outside of it can't even put into words. You're going to feel and see things that you never thought you would see, and it's hard to describe in words. And these traditions, that a lot of them predate even Christianity, the reason why they're still so powerful is because you're sworn to secrecy. The elders know that once you give up the secrets, it gives up its power. So for instance, when you get initiated into Santeria, for instance, they actually give you the real Orisha, which is not a statue. You get various tools that actually are the spirits themselves, are things that the spirits actually live in themselves. So you get the full-on power of the spirit. You get to learn the mysteries of them and the various paths and so on and so forth. And if everybody knew that information, it wouldn't be as powerful. You know what I mean? The power is the mystery of it, the unknown. You know what I mean? Same thing goes with spirits that rule your head. In our culture, we believe that there's different spirits that rule different parts of your body. You have certain spirits that walk with you, certain spiritual court. Everybody has spirits in their spiritual court. It doesn't matter who you are, what culture you come from. Everybody has a spirit court. And when you find out who rules your head, which is where your thoughts come from and all that. The brain is a very powerful tool. Without your brain, you can't be alive. You know what I mean? If you're brain dead, you pretty much have no function. You know what I mean? Um, and so, once your brain is gone, it's gone. So when you have a spirit that rules your head, somebody can drown that spirit because they would know, oh, this is their main protector. Because, as brujas, spiritual workers, root workers, whatever it is that you practice, we all believe and protect, like spiritually, or most of us. I'm not going to say all, that's a little bit heavy, but most of us believe in spiritual protection. So if the enemy or the malicious energies or the malicious people that want to get you spiritually break through the first line of defense, you always have other counter defenses. Your last point of defense is the spirit that rules your head. Once somebody drowns you, you're pretty much done. It's like when, in reality, there are such things as spiritual wars. And when you are at a war, even when a soldier isn't fighting, like they're taught to be in constant vigil, like a police officer, that kind of thing. You always have to be ready for the counterattack, even when things seem calm. Because unfortunately, if you're doing this for a living and you are elder and you're powerful and people like the work that you do, you're going to have everybody that is in the same business as you or wants what you have, they're going to come against you. So you always have to be constantly on vigil. That is the life that I was called to do, and is the life that I live. So I cannot sit here and be like, yes, such and such spirits rules my head, because you're letting your enemy know what's protecting you. They could literally take that from you. They could literally drown that spirit, that protection. So that's something in my culture that we do not share. Like, you do not tell people who rules your head. You do not tell people what spirits they mounted on you when they do certain rituals. The reason why those traditions, like I said, are so powerful is because of the fact that it's practiced in secret. The danger of oversharing is someone can culturally appropriate something, someone can wash down your tradition, and then it loses the strength of it. And same thing with a spell work. If you're sitting there telling everybody, oh, I hired such and such is doing a spell for me, how do you know that friend you're telling doesn't have bad intentions and mentally tries to either give you bad advice or goes home and does something to counter the spell that you physically told somebody that they're doing? Is why I don't tell my clients exactly what I'm doing, because we get excited. So she used this and she's talking to this spirit. You're literally telling a person that, like I said, I've seen cases where people's own friends are doing things to them. People's own friends are hexing them. People's own family members, people's own spouses. You know what I mean? So it is what I've seen it all, and so you always have to be careful who you're telling. And even if you're telling another root worker, another spellcaster, you know what I mean? You could be talking to the competition. Oh, so she thinks she's cute, so I'm gonna knock that out and I'm gonna mess up that person's life because now I know what they're doing. It's why you don't see me, live broadcasting anything or doing that kind of stuff, or even showing my altars. The spirits that allow me to talk about them, I do, but there are certain spirits that are like, no, you can't tell this, that, and the other, because those are the ones that rule my head, and those are the ones that you're supposed to keep secret. And we all have those, and you know what I mean? So I've seen too many witches on YouTube. Lives get really chaotic and even admit, like, oh my goodness, I got on YouTube and now everybody's texting me, everybody's cursing me, everybody's doing this, everybody's doing that. Ever since I joined YouTube, my life is chaotic. I've seen big channels disappear overnight because of said things. So as spiritual beings, we have to understand, yes, there is light and there's beauty, but there's also a more malicious side too. And whether you practice that or not, it doesn't mean that the person watching you on the other side doesn't. Just because you have a certain moral compass doesn't mean the other people do. So, you just have to always, kind of, there's things that I share and then there's things that I don't. And so I just wanted to make this video to explain that if I come off rude when I'm like, oh, I really can't share that, it's not because I think I'm better than anybody else. It's mostly because I have to protect certain things. I do share things with my students more elaborately than I would on YouTube, because that's a one-on-one setting. And when someone makes an investment in something, that shows me you're serious about this. And you know what I mean? When you make an investment, you're also making a sacrifice, like I had to do when I got mentored, because I had to pay for my mentorship too, financially, emotionally, mentally, all of it. And we value the things that we pay for. When you have to pay for something, you value it, because you're like, oh, it's special. Like, I had to work X amount of hours to be able to afford this, that, or the other. It wasn't given to me. So it's like you cherish that. You know what I mean? And so, yes, I will be sharing a lot with my students, because, like I said, they show that they're really serious about this, and things of that nature. So that's why I don't do, like, I've been asked so many times in the last 2 years, like, when are you going to show a spell? When are you going to show a spell? When are you going to show a spell? I'm not going to show a spell, because the spells that I do, I didn't get them from a book. My mom taught me, and I was sworn to secrecy. She was like, when you were younger, I didn't want to teach you, because, and a lot of the elders don't like that, because it's like, these are our family recipes. It's like when you're someone that makes the best lasagna on the block, like, you know what I mean? Like, such and such makes the best lasagna on the block. Why was she that? You know what I mean? Most people, like, that's my recipe. Like, that's what I'm known for. Like, I don't want to share that with you. So that's how I see it. Like, my family went through a lot to keep these secrets. Why would I just, like, open it up to YouTube like that, where anybody can see it? You know what I mean? Then once you do that, like, it might not even, like, be as powerful anymore, because someone on the other side is watching it and figuring ways how to counter that spell, you know? So I don't want to break promises that I've made to my family members or spirits or things like that. They allow me to teach students, but they do not allow me to broadcast here. It's why, like, they don't want their altars on YouTube. Like, they don't want to do that. So I showed, like, a couple of the ones that I'm allowed to show, that are in my living room, that if you came to my house you will see. But the ones that are actually in my spirit room, where a lot of things take place, they don't want that on camera, and I have to respect that. You know what I mean? You guys have seen numerous occasions the orbs in my spirit room. Like, there's real spirits there. I've even shown a video of, like, the outside of my spirit room that had, like, a million orbs. Like, I cannot disrespect my spirits. If they say no, it's no, because it's a working and give and take, relationship. And that's just how I was brought up. Anybody can do whatever they want. You know what I mean? But for me personally, it's something that I don't do. I just feel like in my path, the reason why it's so powerful is because I keep certain rituals secret. You know what I mean? It's between me and the spirit. And I know who I am. I don't have to prove that to anybody. Like, my work and me, my work and my reputation speaks for itself. And it's not to come off cocky. I'm being real. So much love, light, and blessings. Thank you so much for watching this video. So I just kind of wanted to explain myself pretty much. But again, you guys can do whatever you want to do. It's just, for me personally, this is, what the spirits have told me, that this is the way that I need to do things. You know what I mean? And they've changed my life, and they made me successful in what I do. And they keep me going. So out of respect for them, and out of respect for the elders that taught me, that came before me, I keep most of my stuff secret. So much love, light, and blessings. Thank you so much for watching this video. And until the next video, if anybody wants to work with me, shamanic.priestess.com. I do readings, mentorships, and spiritual work. Before I do any type of spiritual work, please get a consultation. Bye, guys. Love you all. Bye.